Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be going over 15 movies that didn't make my top 15 favourite movies from the year 1991. So yeah, again, these are just movies that I have fun with. They're not perfect. Some of them are really good. Some of them are a bit questionable, but I still get some sort of enjoyment out of these 15 movies from 91, and I have a blast with them either way. So yeah, that being said, gonna get straight into the list. So coming up first, we have...
Come on. You did this. Come on.
I think he's dead.
No, he can't be.
Better run, Charlie.
I never touched it. Okay, call an ambulance. Why isn't anybody doing anything? You poor bastard. You sure picked the wrong guy. No, I didn't pick anybody. He picked me. Look, now there are witnesses here. Somebody go. Hey, what are you doing? You're gonna have to talk to Mr. Halloran. Who is Halloran? We call the cops. Call the police. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm a little upset. Get him out of here. Call the police! Call the police! What the? Look out!
Run, starring Patrick Dempsey and Kelly Preston. So this is a good little mobster movie, although it doesn't really focus on the mob. It follows Patrick Dempsey's character, who wants to sort of join this underground casino and try and sort of, build up his money. Something bad really happens, and it's a bit of a misunderstanding as well. And he ends up, as the title suggests, going on the run from the mob. He's constantly looking over his shoulder in this movie, trying to escape them, trying to outrun them. And that's pretty much the movie. I really enjoy it. It's a good Patrick Dempsey movie. There's few of them, in my opinion, because he's quite an underrated actor when you look at his movies. He's more probably known for Grey's Anatomy, but earlier in his career, he had some cracking gems, and this is definitely one of them. So, yeah, that is Run. So, coming up next, we have...
How much is it?
That's $790 plus tax.
I'll take it.
Good.
Is there a layaway plan?
Yes, sir. Of course, the suit has to stay here.
Oh, sure, I knew that. I don't suppose you're gonna rent the suit.
No, sir, not at this store.
I was joking, I knew that.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'll take it. I like it very much. Nice lines to it.
No, it looks very nice on you, sir.
Not too flashy, huh?
No, it's very conservative.
Yeah, that's me. I'm very conservative myself. So I would naturally go, for a more conservative look.
Now, looks much like a banker.
Really? Banker. Hello? How much would you like today? $790.
Only the Lonely, starring John Candy. This is a fun movie. I really enjoy this one. John Candy brings all the heart and charm that you'd expect him to. It follows him. He's he's a police officer in this movie. His partner's Jim Belushi, who's always great as well. And he lives with his mother, or he looks after her. And this new woman comes into his life who he wants to sort of build a relationship with, played by Ali Sheedy. And obviously, the new woman in his life and his mother don't really see eye to eye, and they don't really get on. And yeah, it leads to some really, really funny stuff in this film. I really love John Candy whenever he's in a movie. He's very, very likable in this film. And yeah, it's just a good, heartwarming, little fun movie. Really, really enjoy it. You've also got a young Macaulay Culkin there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the premise of the movie. I really like it. I have fun with this. So yeah, that is Only the Lonely. So coming up next, we have...
Don't ask. Hang on to me real tight.
What are you going to do?
Mariska, these sneakers walk down walls.
Put me down!
No problem. I'm used to living on the edge. Just not this close.
If Looks Could Kill, but over here this was known by a different title. This was called Teen Agent in the UK. And yeah, I remember seeing this on TV when I was a kid, too young to really sort of remember it or sort of realise a bad movie from a good movie or see any of its flaws, but this movie eluded me for the longest time. I remember seeing TV spots for this, that it was going to be played on TV when I was younger on ITV, and I was just mesmerised by what I was seeing. I wanted to watch this movie in full. And yeah, I couldn't really sort of remember this movie. The only thing I remembered from it was that it starred Linda Hunt, the principal from Kindergarten Cop, and that was the only link I had to this film. I didn't know anything else about it. It took me years to find out what this movie was called, and eventually I did. Sat down, watched it. It wasn't how I remembered it, but when is a film ever like that? When you go years and years and years without seeing it, but you remember it. And yeah, this is fun. It follows Richie Grieco, who's failing school. He has to do this this course over the summer to make up his grades, otherwise he won't pass. And he ends up being mistaken for a secret agent, Michael Corbin. And yeah, they go to Europe. He's completely out of his depth, but he gets all this cool stuff. And yeah, I just have fun with this movie. I really, really enjoy it. Some pretty familiar faces pop up in this film as well. But yeah, I have a blast with this film despite its flaws. So yeah, that is If Looks Could Kill. So coming up next, we have...
Listen, you. I have worked for this woman for 15 years. I have written every line she's ever uttered, and I ain't writing nothing garbagey like that. You understand me?
Well, what did Rose say? What did she say?
She loves it.
Soap Dish. So yeah, this is a bizarre movie, but I still really like it nonetheless. To get into it first, the cast of this film, absolutely exceptional. It is stacked with so many people. Robert Downey Jr., Sally Field, Kevin Kline, Terry Hatcher, Whoopi Goldberg, Elizabeth Shue, Carrie Fisher's in there as well. So many names to this movie, and it's all to do with behind the scenes of this soap and following this soap actress played by Sally Field. And yeah, she's got this plans to kind of sort of sabotage or ruin the career of this other actress in this film, but nothing really goes to plan in this film, and it leads to some really strange revelations being disclosed by the end of the movie. And I really like it. I have fun with the movie. It's bizarre. It's out there. It's just got a fun cast. There's so many characters in this film, and I just really, really enjoy it for what it is. So yeah, that is Soap Dish. So coming up next, we have...
Hey, you gotta be Casanova.
Fucking A.
Casanova, you look a lot like that actor.
Yeah, Nick Lang.
Only shorter.
A lot shorter.
Okay, ladies, let's get some real work done around here, huh? Tea break's over. Party crasher briefing in the squad room. Let's go.
I really am Nick Lang.
Oh, yeah.
The Hard Way, starring Michael J. Fox and James Woods. So again, this is a funny type of buddy cop movie. I want to say it doesn't go all the way with it, but yeah, it follows Michael J. Fox's character, who's a Hollywood actor in this movie, and for his next role he's going to be playing a cop. So what he does for research of the role is try and spend time with a police department, and he's sort of partnered with James Woods' character. They're after this killer played by Stephen Lang, who's just so unhinged and over the top in this movie. Absolutely love him in this film. And yeah, he's trying to just sort of learn the ropes with James Woods. It's a fish out of water tale that we've all seen before, but this one has a lot of heart and charm to it, and I just really enjoy it. I think the two leads have got great chemistry, so yeah, that is The Hard Way. So coming up next, we have...
Now back off, Donuts! Ford, back off! Or else she's gonna need a paper bag over her head when her boyfriend fucks what's left of her! Come on, drop it! Okay. All right.
Ricochet, starring Denzel Washington and John Lithgow. So yeah, this is a really, really good revenge tale, but told from the perspective of the villain. Really, really like it. It stars Denzel Washington. At the start of the movie, he plays this cop, but he's moved on to becoming a district attorney. And we find out when he was a cop, he caught this really unhinged villain played by John Lithgow. And years later, when he's released from prison, he wants revenge against Denzel Washington's character. It's a lot of fun. It's over the top. John Lithgow hams it up as you'd expect him to as the villain. Think of the villain he played in Cliffhanger, just cranked up. He's just great in this movie. Everything the guy's in, he's just given 110%. I absolutely love John Lithgow. I think he's a fantastic, underrated actor. And Denzel Washington's great in this as well. This is one of my favourite movies from him. But yeah, there's some really violent kills in this film as well. Some of the stuff that happened in the prison, I was like, whoa, that is really near the knuckle. There's like a scene that involves a buzzsaw. I was like, wow, that is really, really brutal. But yeah, this is a cracking film. Really, really enjoy it. It's a good Denzel Washington movie as well that doesn't get talked about all that much. So yeah, that is Ricochet. So coming up next, we have...
So what do you think?
I think it's not all bad.
Grand Canyon. So yeah, this is another movie with an absolutely stacked cast, to say the least. Kevin Kline again, Danny Glover, Steve Martin, Mary McDonald. Huge cast. A lot of talent behind this movie. And yeah, I can't really explain why I like it. It's one of these movies that doesn't really have a cohesive plot to the movie. It's just about characters in this movie and how all of their fates kind of intertwine and come together. And yeah, that's really just the movie in a nutshell. It's really bizarre. It's just things that happen to them. And I like that about this movie. It feels kind of like something Richard Linklater would put when he's sort of writing a movie. It kind of feels like that vibe, but it doesn't feel like one of his movies. It's just a really, really good character-driven piece, and I really, really like this film for what it is. And it doesn't get talked about all that much either, so yeah, that is Grand Canyon. So coming up next, we have...
When'd you last see her?
She was at the party last night.
Who was the party for?
The Red Dragon Brewery, the new owner.
Of the brewery?
Of the club. The owner of the brewery is the new owner of the club.
Did you see Angel leave the party?
They sent her to see him, and I never saw her again, okay?
See who?
Showdown in Little Tokyo, starring Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren. So, yeah, again, this is like really, really fun, over-the-top action movie. I think I used to get this confused with Big Trouble in Little China back in the day when I was younger. But, yeah, this is a good movie about two cops who approach their jobs with two different methods, two different ideologies, but they have to work together in this movie to sort of take down the Yakuza and, yeah, protect this woman played by Tia Carrere in this movie, the ever-gorgeous Tia Carrere. So, yeah, this is a really, really fun, over-the-top action movie. It's not that long either. I think it clocks in maybe just under 80 minutes. It's a really, really short movie. It's a good throwaway film to put on like a rainy Sunday afternoon or something like that and just have a blast with it. So, yeah, it's a fun film. So that is Showdown in Little Tokyo. So coming up next, we have... Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. So, yeah, this is a Disney movie that really, really goes under the radar. It's, at least over here in the UK, it's nowhere to be found on Disney Plus. And it was my friend Haley from Australia who told me about this film. I'd never heard of it. It was something she grew up with, and we were talking about it. I was like, I need to hunt this movie out. So I did manage to find the DVD, watched it, and I just thought it was a really, really good, well-made film. It follows this rebellious girl who doesn't really get on well with school, doesn't gel with the teacher or the students with what's going on. Very, very rebellious. But she finds love with the art of horse diving, which I know may not be for everyone, but this film really handles it really, really well. But I won't say what happens with the ending, but it's quite tragic. And yeah, it's just a really good film. No one seems to talk about. It's a forgotten Disney gem that, by the looks of it, Disney certainly don't really care about this film, even though it's got their name on it. And yeah, it's just not one to be forgotten, this one. It really is a good film. So that is Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. So coming up next, we have...
Each one of these collars is electronically linked to another prisoner's collar. If they're ever separated by more than 100 yards... We like to refer to it as wedlock. So, you ask, why not just find out who your wedlock partner is and both of you run away? Because nobody knows who their partner is.
Wedlock, starring Rutger Hauer and Mimi Rogers. So yeah, this is again another great little movie that I have a lot of fun with. It's not perfect by any means. It feels like a TV movie at times, but yeah, I enjoy it. Rutger Hauer plays this sort of this diamond thief, I want to say, and he gets caught in this movie by his partners who kind of betray him. One of them is played by James Remar, and he ends up going to this high security prison where what they sort of really do here is to try and sort of keep them from escaping is they put an explosive around their necks and they tie it with someone else. So if they leave or try to escape, their collar will explode, and so will their partner, who is undisclosed in this movie. That's the whole point. We don't know who the prisoners' partners are in this film. It's a really, really good concept. I really, really enjoy it. And yeah, it's a good little on-the-run escape movie. If you've not seen this one, it's far from perfect, but yeah, I still enjoy it. I have a blast with it. So yeah, that is Wedlock. So coming up next, we have...
are the pair.
Steven Spielberg's Hook. Yeah, this is one that I grew up with. I didn't really watch this one all that much. I used to have it on VHS, well, still do. But yeah, there was a one big moment in this movie I found really creepy, which I'll be talking about in another video. And yeah, it was a bit of a mixed bag. I found it quite strange. Robin Williams, who I absolutely loved growing up as a kid, this was one that his face was slapped all over the poster, so I wanted to check it out based on the premise he was in it. And it was just a strange concept to do, a different direction to take the Peter Pan tale in, as it follows him much, much later. He's kind of forgotten who he is, and he goes back to Neverland and kind of sort of goes on this journey to try and remember who he is. And yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. I really like the stuff where he actually is Peter Pan, Robin Williams, in this movie towards the end. And yeah, I have a fun time with it. It's not one of Spielberg's best movies. He's kind of restrained, in my opinion, in this film. It feels very much like you're watching a set or a stage play in parts of this movie. But yeah, I still enjoy it nonetheless. I've got massive nostalgia for it. And it's a fun time, despite its problems. If you know, I can look past them. So, yeah, this is Hook. So coming up next, we have.
Then let's cut right to the chase, shall we? We're prepared to offer you $42,500 a year with a full benefit package. That's dental, medical, profit-sharing pension, expense account, car allowance, vacation, of course, and any and all relocating expenses. This is our first, best, and last offer. What do you think?
Career opportunities. I was very, very late to the game with this movie. I've been dying to see it for the longest time because it was a John Hughes written film. And yeah, I had fun with it. It goes off the rails, I think, for me in the third act, but I still like the journey that we go on to get there. It sort of follows this young guy whose life has no direction, and he ends up sort of working at this Target. And there's this girl who kind of hangs out there as well. She's the daughter of a wealthy businessman. Two very, very different characters, but similar to The Breakfast Club. They find out that they have a lot of common. And yeah, they just sort of really, really hit it off and take it from there. And it had some heart to it. It had some charm to it. I didn't really like it when, at the end, when these sort of like, these robbers come in. It didn't work for me at that point, but the build up to it, I really, really enjoyed, and I still had fun with the film. So yeah, that is Career Opportunities. So coming up next, we have...
You know what? The more you babble, the more you reveal yourself as an insecure fool who's deathly afraid he's gonna blow his chance at my mother.
What chance, Duncan?
My name's Doyle. And the chance I'm referring to has dollar signs in front of it.
Chance of your mom's money.
Bingo.
Dutch, or as I think it's known in some other parts of the world, Driving Me Crazy. So this is another John Hughes written film starring Ed O'Neill and Ethan Randall. Yeah, I really, really had fun with this film. It was Keith over at Euphoria Pictures who recommended this to me. And yeah, this was an absolute delight. Really, really enjoyed it. So Ed O'Neill plays this new boyfriend of this woman who he's tasked with sort of bringing her son, played by Ethan Randall, across country to meet them for some sort of get-together. I can't remember which, but it's all about the journey between these two characters. Ethan Randall's just one absolute little shit in this film. He is really, really insufferable, but he's supposed to be. I've seen him in a few movies before. He's hit and miss for me. I really, really didn't like him in Empire Records, but yeah, this was... it's a fun movie. I really, really enjoy it. It's a good blast. The kids' ideologies and outlook on life are just very, very questionable. there's a character arc there. You know where we're going to end up. We've seen it before in other movies, but again, this had heart and charm to it that I just couldn't really deny. So, yeah, that is Dutch. So coming up next, we have...
I think you got it backwards, pal. First you go to law school, then you turn into a sleaze bag with no regard for the truth.
I've met guys like you before.
Yeah?
Yeah. You got that face. Got that smile. Got that corduroy suit that comes with elbow patches. You got one of those suits?
So what?
True Colors, starring John Cusack and James Spader. This movie touches on something that I absolutely love in movies, and it's when we follow two people really have a strong friendship and they become enemies. I absolutely love that in movies. It's just a fascinating subject. And yeah, it follows two friends, like I said, played by James Spader and John Cusack, who were at law school together. Really solid friendship between the two of them that you absolutely buy in this film. And one of them massively betrays the other one. And it's about them sort of dealing with that, going forward with that. It's a very underseen movie. Great performances from the two leads. James Spader, I think, had a cracking time in the early 90s and late 80s with some of the movies he was doing. And some of them just don't really get talked about, but this one really is good. So, yeah, that is True Colors. So coming up next, we have...
So what's your name?
Rose. Rose Fenny?
Rose's Cafe. You own this place.
My mother does. Her name's Rose. Same as me, same as my grandmother.
That's nice.
So you're Marine, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Edward Baines Birdlace?
Okay, it's not that funny.
I'm sorry, it's a nice name.
Thanks.
Gosh, you look so angry.
Oh, I'm not angry. I'm just ready.
Ready for what?
Ready for anything.
Dogfight, starring River Phoenix and Lily Taylor. So, yeah, this is kind of a bit of a mean-spirited movie when you break down what it's about. So it sort of follows River Phoenix's character. He's going to Vietnam to fight in this war with his friends, and before they're called up, they spend some time sort of trying to get involved with some girls, and what they do is it's who can sort of get with the girl who they find the ugliest, and that's the sort of game that they're playing. And it's really mean-spirited when you think about it, but I don't know, I think this movie has some good dialogue there, there's some good conversations there, it's well written. I enjoyed the movie despite what it was about when I think about it, but yeah, it's a good solid film. One of River Phoenix's later movies before he tragically lost his life. But yeah, it's a good River Phoenix movie. There's few and far between when an actor passes away. It sort of makes their work feel a hell of a lot more precious. And yeah, this is one of his movies that doesn't really get the spotlight. So yeah, this is a good fun film despite what it's about. So yeah, that is Dogfight. So yeah, that is it, guys. Those are 15 movies from 1991 that I thought were worth mentioning and talking about as I have fun with them. So let me know if you've seen any of these. Have you not seen any of these? Do you plan on checking them out? And yeah, we'll have a conversation down below. So yeah, gonna leave the video there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.